The Oakville Public Library stepped back in time last week as special guest Bob Munroe stopped by to give library patrons a behind-the-scenes look at the smash CBC series The Tudors as a part of their ongoing speaker series.
Well, The Tudors is phenomenally popular, of course, and also we want people to realize that libraries are far more than books these days. We've got all sorts of things you can borrow for free, all seasons of The Tudors, on DVD or Blu-ray, and you can get that for free at your library. So we wanted people to start to recognize that, and also it's just fascinating how much goes into these productions, and to get that behind-the-scenes look is super interesting to lots of people.
The Tudors centers around the court of King Henry VIII. Over the 4 seasons, it follows the king, his wives, and the politics and intrigue of the 15th century House of Tudors. Oakville resident Bob Munroe co-produced the series and reflects on the show's popularity around the world.
Well, I think The Tudors is probably just a remarkably sexy show. People like the intrigue, they like the politicking, they like the good-looking young actors and actresses. It's become an international hit. Michael Hurst, who created the show and wrote all 38 episodes by himself, really is kind of a master of that period, and kind of gets into the the heart of the story that is beyond the surface. And I think that it kind of humanizes it for people.
While the series is based upon the real-life King of England, the series creators felt free to take certain liberties with the period to create an engaging and accessible glimpse into the lavish world of the Tudor dynasty.
A little bit of a different take, as Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, as Johnny says quite regularly. I don't look anything like King Henry VIII, but I'm playing a role. I'm not doing a documentary. So it's a like I said, a very fresh, young, glamorous kind of take on King Henry VIII.
While the 4th and final series is currently airing in Canada, the journey from creating the 1st season to the 4th season took Munroe, the crew, and the actors from learning the ropes of working a period piece to experts.
We really were getting our feet wet the 1st season. I think we were very naive. The production design was very naive. We're testing out new cameras, we're testing out new processes, we're trying to really figure out how we're going to recreate 15th century England in 21st century Ireland. By the time we got to the 4th season, it was a well-oiled machine, and we could do things in terms of scope and scale that we could never have achieved in the 1st season successfully. So the whole production value just increased exponentially over the 4 years.
Many critics of the show have focused on historical inaccuracies, saying that they had taken too many liberties with the people and incidents of the Tudor dynasty. Munroe sees the creative changes as telling the essence of the story rather than documenting real-life events.
One of the things that people don't realize when they read a novel that they love, for example, and then they go see the movie of that novel, and they go, oh, it's nothing like the book, they lost that character, they lost this character. You're not actually trying to produce the novel on the screen. You're trying to produce the story within the novel on the screen. You're trying to take what is the essence of that story and tell it in a completely different medium. If you were to tell it word for word, it would be a 10-hour movie. The Tudors, we had the same sort of rationale. We're not doing a documentary. This is a drama.
Since production has wrapped on the Tudors, Munroe has moved on to another period piece, centered around another 15th century family dynasty.
We're currently doing another TV series right now called The Borgias, which was created by Neil Jordan, who directed The Crying Game and Interview with the Vampire. It's based on the Borgia family. Rodrigo Borgia became Pope, effectively bought his way into the papacy in 1492. It's even more full of intrigue and sex and drama and all that juicy stuff than the Tudors was. Funny enough, even though a lot of us had experience on the Tudors and we were going to leverage on that experience to take it into the Borgias, it became a no-no to actually use the word Tudors. We constantly refer to it as the T word, because we didn't want to make Tudors 5. We wanted to make Borgias 1. So it's a brand new look, it's a brand new cast. There were a lot of new creative people on the show, but I think what we learned is how to do a show like that right from the start.
These lands were taken from us by violence, and I mean to have them back. For King Henry! For England! And for St. George!
For more information about the Oakville Public Library and other events, log on to the library's website at www.opl.on.ca. In Oakville, I'm Michelle Gatian for The Source.